Hi, I'm Heather Darden. I'm doing a quick 30-minute video, just a quick practice to keep you moving as you recover from injury. This practice has no downward facing dogs or planks. It is made for those that are recovering from wrist and shoulder injuries to help you open out across the chest, strengthen your lower body, and just keep general movement in your life so that you don't stop moving when you're injured. You can keep on going. If anything I suggest throughout the flow hurts your body in any way, please, please, please stop doing it. Stop the practice. Take a moment, maybe come into child's pose, and just check in on yourself. Don't do anything that feels uncomfortable or painful ever. We'll start with the breath and a short warm up, and then we will move to the standing practice. So I hope you enjoy it. Have a great time, and if you're not having fun, change what you're doing. So we'll begin in a seated position. I will face you because otherwise it just feels kind of rude. Make sure you're on your sitting bones. If easy pose, Sukhasana, is not a comfortable position for you, please feel free to sit in a wide V, or you can sit with your soles of your feet together and your knees opened out in a bound angle kind of pose. This is a nice hip opener. It can really put a lot of pressure on your inner thighs. So if you're feeling any pressure here, or you feel the desire to sort of slump down like this, then please come to one of the other positions. You want to make sure your spine is nice and long for this next warm up. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times, and then roll them forward. Roll them back one more time just to get them back in place. Bring your chin to your chest. Gently roll your right ear over toward your right shoulder. You might want to walk your left hand out just a little bit, maybe tent up on your fingers. You'll notice a stretch probably in the side of your neck, sometimes across the throat or the top of the shoulder, depending on where you are tight. If this is not enough sensation for you, you can bring your right hand up and gently place it on the side of your head. You're not pulling on your head. You're just allowing the weight of your hand and arm to sort of draw the muscles longer. That hurts my neck, so I am not going to do it, but other people do like the extra sensation. So do what you like the best. Just make sure it feels good to you when you're taking care of your body. One more breath here. And gently roll your chin to the center. Bring your left hand back in. Roll your left ear towards your left side. You can walk your right hand out if you want to. And again, you always have the option to bring your left hand up and place it on the side of your head for more sensation. As I said, that's a little too much sensation here, so I will be stopping with just walking my hands out to increase the sensation a little bit. Wherever you are, breathe deeply. And really allow your legs to relax. If they start creeping up, you start really engaging your inner thighs. See if you can let go and let them be heavy. One more breath here. And slowly bring your chin to the center. Walk your hand back in and look up. We're going to take a moment now that we've opened up the upper body just a little bit to focus in on the breath. So if at any time you feel short of breath or like your breath is up high in your chest, do your best. Take a moment, bring it back down to the bottom of your lungs, slow your breath down, Anytime you're breathing up high in your chest, it can create feelings of anxiety and stress. So you really want to draw it down to help bring yourself some relaxation and release. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, do that. If you do not, then just let your eyelids be heavy and allow your eyes to lose their focus. So you're just sort of gazing into the distance. I feel comfortable closing my eyes, so I'm going to do that. And we'll take 5 to 10 breaths here. Find a gentle tuck to your chin so the back of your neck is long and your throat is relaxed. Reaching the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Keeping your spine nice and long, supported by your sitting bones. As you breathe, notice where the breath is in your body. Is it up in your upper lungs, or is it down a little bit lower, maybe close to the belly? Notice the pace of your breath. There's no judgment, there's no right or wrong. You're just noticing, is it fast or slow? And take a moment and notice how this breath makes you feel, or how are you feeling with this breath? Whatever emotions come up for you, just notice them. You don't need to dive into why they're there. You're just here to observe. A couple more breaths, being with yourself. Stay with this self-awareness and this breath throughout class. You find yourself moving away from it, just take a moment, come back to your breath, and then rejoin the practice when you're ready. Inhale, bring both arms up, reach up through your fingers, slide your shoulder blades down towards your waist. With your next exhale, take a twist toward the right. You can bring your left hand on the outside of your right thigh and your right hand right up against your spine, getting nice and tall. Exhaling, you can turn and gaze over your shoulder. You can just look to the side. You can close your eyes. With each inhale, get a little taller. With each exhale, twist a little more, just finding a little more activation in your spine. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, center, bring both arms up. Exhale, take your twist to the other side. This time, your left hand comes back behind you, right hand reaches over and gently hangs on to the outside of your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen, get a little taller. Exhale, take your twist a little deeper. Again, you can look over your back shoulder. You can look to the side. But no matter what, don't allow your shoulders to creep up. Let them drop down away from your ears. Nice heavy shoulder blades, nice heavy shoulders. Slowly unwind, return to the center. We're going to do some spinal movement. similar to cat and cow, but from a seated position. And then we'll be doing some circles to help open up the hips and the spine a little bit more. So for a seated version of classic cat and cow, you can leave your hands on your shins. You can put them on your knees if that's more comfortable. For me, my shins are more comfortable because I've just got a very short torso, so reaching out to my knees hurts. Also, my knees have been injured throughout my life, so putting pressure on them is not a great idea. So if that's true for you, stick to hanging on the shins like I'm going to. Roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale, take your heart forward. You can lift your chin up if that feels good for your throat. If not, just continue to gaze forward, working more on the spinal movement rather than your neck movement. Although the upper part of your spine is in your neck. But if it doesn't feel comfortable, then don't do it. Exhale, take the middle of your spine back behind you. Don't tip back. You just want to move the spine. Hunch your shoulders in toward you. Take your chin toward your chest if that's comfortable. If that cuts off your breath, then just stay looking forward, keeping the movement just in the spine. Inhale, take your heart forward. Look up if you want to. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, forward. Exhale, deep curl. One more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, deep curl. And now we're going to do circles. So take your heart forward. Take your rib cage to the left. Take your rib cage to the back. Take your rib cage to the right. Take your rib cage forward. Left, back, right, forward. See if you can make it a more fluid movement. So it's more of a circle than drawing a square or a parallelogram. 2 more circling this way. That was 1. There's 2. And now circle the other way. So right, back, left, forward. Right, back, left, forward. Make it more fluid. Circling your way through. There you go. 2 more going this way. 1 and 2. And come back to center. Roll your shoulders back and down. Shake out your wrists. So if you've had any wrist injuries, shaking your wrists like this can really get some movement into them. We don't move them in all the planes we really need to. Pick them up above your head, pick them down next to you, and then circle your wrists out. Circle them one way, and now circle them the other way. And make your way up to standing any way you like. We'll start with some very simple Vini Yoga sun salutations to warm up, and then we'll move through a short standing practice just to kind of get the blood flowing. Come up to the top of your mat, mountain pose, shoulders roll back and down. Draw the muscles beneath your belly button in and up. Bring your arms out and up. Reach out through your fingers. Slide your shoulder blades down towards your waist. Breathe deeply. Keep a slight bend to your knees. Don't lock them out. Inhale here. Exhale. Press the air down. Forward fold. Inhale. Look out and lengthen. Exhale. Fold. Inhale. Come all the way up. You can hinge up or stack up. Bring your arms out and up. Exhale. dive forward.
Inhale, look out and lengthen.
Exhale, fold.
Inhale, come all the way up.
Exhale, fold.
Inhale, look out and lengthen.
Exhale, fold.
Inhale, come
All the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment and come back to your breath. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Make a double U shape with your arms. Keep your elbows just in line with your shoulders or just below. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, W your arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, W. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, W. Just working out some of the tension back there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, sink down into chair pose. So I encourage you to bring your hands to your heart and squeeze your shoulder blades together. If this hurts your wrists, then just allow your hands to come to your elbows. Check in, make sure you're not letting your knees go past your toes here in chair. You're engaging your inner thighs to keep your knees in line with your ankles. Breathe deeply. See if you can sink down just a little bit lower. And exhale, forward fold. Release your elbows, release your legs. Breathe deeply. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Breathe deeply here, just 2 more breaths. Draw the muscles beneath your belly button in and up if they're not already there. Shift your weight to your right foot. Step your left foot back to come to high lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs together to maintain your balance. Draw your left hip forward and your right hip back. Really square yourself to the front. Breathe deeply. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Reach out through your fingers. With your next inhale, open up, warrior 2. So your back toes are turned in slightly. You want to make sure your front knee is not going past your toes. If it is, straighten your leg, hop your back foot back a little bit more, and then rebend your knee. Check in on your shoulders. Are they up by your ears? If they are, melt them down. Gaze forward. Breathe deeply. Straighten your front leg. Take your rib cage over your knee and then hinge over for triangle pose. So this is a good place to use a block. I'm going to grab mine. Should have had it at the front of my mat. It can be hard to remember everything that you're doing though. So if you do have a block, instead of collapsing down onto it, you want to use it to draw your spine longer and then help you to open up toward the ceiling a little bit more. You can always leave your hand on your hip or wrap it around the back of your waist if holding it up here does not feel good to your body. Breathe deeply. You can look down at your hand for triangle. You can also look to the side or look all the way up at your middle finger. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bend your knee, return to warrior 2. Inhale, crescent lunge or high lunge if you're doing the back bend, it turns into crescent lunge. Only do that if you're comfortable. Bring your hands to your heart. Shift forward, warrior three balance. You can also take your arms out like airplane wings or send them behind you like a superhero. I really like the superhero because it helps me open up my shoulder blades. If you fall down, just get back up like I did. Inhale, bring your leg forward, return, mountain pose. Breathe deeply. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So shift your weight to your left foot. Take your right foot back for high lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Draw your shoulder blades down towards your waist. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. Really be strong here in your hips. Very stable. Breathe deeply. With your next inhale, open up, warrior two. Check your foot spacing. Move your foot back. You can see I'm moving mine back, so I have the correct spacing and I'm not taking my left knee past my left toes. Breathe. Press into both the edges of both feet, the pinky edges, so you're really engaging with both feet like you're trying to pull the mat apart. Breathe deeply. Straighten your left leg. Take your rib cage toward your knee and tick-tock over to find your triangle. Use your block on this side if you use it on the first side. Remember, you're not collapsing into it. You're using it to draw your spine longer and see if you can turn your top hip open a little bit more. Options for your arm, always reaching up. Bring your hand to your hip. Wrap it around your waist. So for me on this side, wrapping it around my waist is the most comfortable. You'll be different side to side because we use our sides so differently. So just check in, see if your arm maybe wants a different position on this side. Keep drawing your spine long, opening your heart toward the ceiling. One more deep breath here in triangle. Inhale, come all the way back up. Return to your warrior two with your bent knee. Inhale, high lunge. You might need to move your block out of the way, like I need to. Breathe deeply, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Draw your right hip forward and your left hip back. Really strong position. Bring your hands to your heart. Slowly shift. Find your warrior three. It may take a couple hops like it did for me. You may launch right into it. Try some different arms maybe, or go back to the ones you like. Airplane wings, hero arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, whether you're doing airplane wings, hero arms, or hands at your heart. This is definitely easier on my shoulders and wrists than hands at my heart, and it doesn't make the balance too hard because my arms are still close to my body. Breathe. Inhale. Return to your mountain pose with control. Exhale. Let your arms come down by your side. Take a moment here. Notice your breath. Notice how you're feeling about your practice. Breathe deeply. We're going to come down into a squat to get down onto the mat in the lying down position for a restorative shoulder releaser and heart opener that can feel really good. And here we go. So you're going to bend your knees, move your block the side of your mat. So you're coming into a squat. Don't allow your heels to open out. Keep them in line so your ankles are nice and happy. And then slowly begin to shift your weight back. Take your legs out, and now you're down. Once you're here, grab your blocks. If you don't have a block, you can also use a rolled up beach towel or small blanket, like a Mexican blanket is a good idea. Or you can use your rolled up yoga mat. If you're using the rolled up yoga mat, you roll it up. So it's one long cylinder. You're going to place one end of the cylinder right at the base of your spine, right where your crack is. And you'll be laying down so that your spine is laying down across the length of the mat. If your head is not supported that way, you might want to get a towel to support your head so your throat is not being opened too much. You don't want to crank open your throat. So this is the final pose I'll be cueing. This will be our final relaxation pose. If at any time you want to come out of it before I cue it, you just want to roll off to the side, or first tuck your chin to your chest and then roll off to the side before moving the blocks and coming down onto your back. So if you're doing this, take your block, nice horizontal line, take the top part of your block and aim it for right underneath your shoulder blades. Come back. You can bend your knees. You can leave your legs in easy pose. You can take them out long, whatever you like the best. From here, you're going to just allow your chest to open up. You can let your forehead come down onto the mat. You can bring a block underneath your head, and then just let your arms open out. Let your shoulders melt. And let go of any conscious breath you've been using. Just breathe as deeply as you can. And notice what comes up for you as you're in this pose. This can be a big heart opener. If this does hurt your lower back or it's too much across your chest, then you're going to gently bring your chin up to your chest and roll off to the side to come out of it. If it was hurting your back, I recommend coming into a child's pose to release your lower back. You could also come into a happy baby, whichever one is going to serve you best. While you're here, just allow yourself to let go completely. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Just continue to release, melting down. If you find your thoughts wandering to other things like other parts of your day or things that happened in the past, just take a moment, label the thought. That was about my dog. That's about tomorrow. And then allow it to float away on your next exhale. Melt as much as you can with each breath. About 5 more breaths here. Remember, if it becomes too much, if it's too much sensation or uncomfortable in any way, come out of it slowly and gently. See if you can deepen your breath for these final 4 breaths. With your next inhale, gently bring your chin into your chest. If you have your knees in easy pose, gently bring them up. Roll off to the side. Move the block or blocks out of your way. Bring your knees into your chest. Curl in nice and tight, just as a counter pose to what you just did. You can turn onto your side and gently press up to a seat. We'll be finishing class in any pose that you find really relaxing, a posture where you can let go. So that could be a seat for meditation, like easy pose or lotus pose. Or if you'd like, you can lay out on your mat, long and completely released. This will be a short meditation or shavasana because this practice is designed to be done at work. So you don't generally want to get caught napping at work. So that's why I'm keeping it short. Breathe deeply wherever you are. And just notice how you're feeling after your practice. Any feelings that you have are valid. Anything that's happening is valid. Just be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware of your body. And if your breath is faster than you like, take some time right now to slow it down. Inhale deeply. And exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. One last time together. Inhale and exhale. If you're seated, find a gentle tuck to your chin so your breath can flow freely while your neck is long and your throat is relaxed. And just notice how you feel after your practice. Scan your body. Start with your toes and move all the way up through the crown of your head. Now take a moment and notice where your breath is in your body. And if you can think back to where you started class, notice whether the breath is in a different place or going at a different pace. It's all right if it's not. You're just here to notice whatever comes up. A few more moments just to be in your body and to be with your breath. You're lying down, turn onto your side and gently press up to a seat. You're already seated. Stay where you are. You can leave your eyes closed, or you can open them and let the eyelids be heavy, let the eyes go out of focus. Bring your arms up overhead. Gather up all the good energy created during your practice. And then bring all that energy down to your heart. Take a moment and send gratitude to yourself for your practice, for your breath, for taking the time to take care of you. And if you feel comfortable, you can bow with me in gratitude to all those that came before us to bring us these practices. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. I'm honored. Have a wonderful rest of your day.